The loneliest part of leadership that no one talks about. Leadership is often described as exciting, rewarding, influential. People talk about vision, strategy, success. But there's another side of leadership that almost no one prepares you for. Sometimes leadership is lonely. Not because you don't have people around you, but because there are decisions only you can make and burdens only you can carry.
He's not just a coach, he's a leader of leaders. With over 50 years of real-world experience, he's helped business owners double their profits, build leaders from within, and reclaim their time.
A mentor, an author, and a chief reinvention officer who's guided thousands to lead with clarity, confidence, and impact. Please welcome Henry Chidgey.
So why does this matter? One of the greatest myths about leadership is that as your influence grows, life becomes easier. My experience has been exactly the opposite. The higher your responsibility, the fewer people who truly understand the weight you're carrying. You may have wonderful people around you, a supportive spouse, a great management team, trusted friends, but there are still moments when the final decision belongs to you and you solely. That's a lonely place to stand. If you're carrying that kind of weight today, I've created a free resource I think will help. It's called Get Calm, Clear Leadership in 14 Days Without Overthinking Every Hard Conversation. You'll find it free at gohenrychidgey.com, go.henrychidgey.com. Now let's talk about something every leader eventually experiences. So this is a story from my life. I remember my years in the railroad business, many years. There were times when hundreds of people depended on my decisions, my team and I made. Equipment, safety, customers, schedules, budgets. Every decision affected someone's life. I also learned something that surprised me. When everyone looks to you for the answer, there isn't always someone you can look to. That's when I discovered one of leadership's great truths. Leadership isn't lonely because people leave you. Leadership is lonely because the responsibility eventually lands somewhere. And if you're the leader, it lands with you. When leadership becomes lonely, it's tempting to do one of two things. Either avoid making the decision or push the responsibility onto someone else. Neither works. Leadership requires courage. I'm going to say it again because it's really important, and I think some leaders really struggle getting this. Leadership requires courage, not because leaders never feel uncertain, but because they move forward despite uncertainty. I've mentored many leaders over the years. I've never met one who enjoyed carrying that burden. I've met many who accepted it because they understood someone had to. One of the reasons I love leadership mentoring is that leaders finally have someone they can think out loud with. Not someone to make the decision for them, someone to help them see more clearly. It's very different. If you'd like to have that kind of conversation, you'll find a link below where you can schedule a leadership mentoring session. I'll be honored to spend that time with you. You don't have to carry it alone. One lesson took me years to learn. Leadership may be lonely, but leaders don't have to be isolated. There's a difference. Wise leaders seek perspective. They ask questions. They invite honest feedback. They surround themselves with people willing to tell them the truth, not because they're weak, because they're wise enough to know they don't see everything. Some of the best decisions I ever made became better because I invited another trusted voice into the conversation before I acted. That's not weakness. That's stewardship. So here's a question I'll leave you with. Who helps carry the weight with you? Not by making your decisions, but by helping you think more clearly before you make them. If the answer is no one, Perhaps that's the first decision you should change, because leadership is too important to practice in isolation. If this message encouraged you, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe and share it with another leader. Each week, we explore practical leadership ideas designed to help people become wiser leaders and build organizations worth following. And don't forget to download my free guide down below at go.henrychidgey.com. I'll leave you with this thought. Leadership may require you to carry the responsibility alone, but wisdom invites you to seek perspective before you carry it. Until next time, lead wisely, lead with integrity, and lead with a purpose bigger than yourself. Take care for now.